Hello students, we are going to start the chapter number 6, that is plant water relation. Now you know that water is essential for all living organisms. Then water plays an important role in different biochemical processes occurring in living organisms. So plants need water, then plants need different types of minerals or mineral nutrients for proper growth and development, as well as plants need different gases. Now the important gases required by the plants are oxygen and carbon dioxide. With the help of oxygen, plants carry the process of respiration, while carbon dioxide is used for the process of photosynthesis. Then about 90 to 95% water is present in the plant cells and the tissues. So water is very important for plants. Then there are different properties of water. The first property is, you all know that water is liquid at room temperature, but when the temperature starts to fall below 0 degrees Celsius, it becomes solid. So water is liquid at room temperature. Then water acts as a solvent for most of the solutes. You know that solvent is a substance in which solutes dissolve. So water acts as a solvent for many solutes or most of the solutes. Then water acts as a transporting medium for dissolved minerals and food molecules. So you know that the main organ of the plant for water absorption is a root. So root absorb water, and then along with water different types of minerals are also absorbed, and with the help of water these minerals are transported to leaves. So water acts as transporting medium for dissolved minerals as well as the food molecules produced during the process of photosynthesis are transferred from leaves to other parts with the help of water. So water is one of the important transporting medium. Then water provides aqueous medium for biochemical reactions. That means there are different types of biochemical reactions occurring in the plant cells, and water provide aqueous medium for these biochemical reactions. Then water acts as a thermal buffer. That means water maintains the temperature or the cool temperature in plant body. Hence it is called as thermal buffer. Then water molecules show cohesive force. Now cohesive force means the force of attraction between the water molecules or the force of attraction between same substances is called as cohesive force. So water molecules show presence of cohesive force between the molecules. Then water also show presence of adhesive force. Now adhesive force, you know that adhesive force is the force of attraction between different substances. So water shows cohesive force as well as adhesive force. Now for example, one of the process that is called as capillary action. Now during the process of water absorption, the xylem vessels, you know that xylem's main function is transportation of water from the roots to other parts. So the xylem vessels are showing presence of a continuous water column. That means a continuous water column is observed inside the xylem vessels. Now this continuous water column helps the water to transfer from roots to the leaves. Now the force of attraction between the water molecules is called as force of cohesion, and water molecules also show force of attraction to the wall of xylem, and hence due to this force of attraction, that is adhesive force, a continuous water column is maintained inside the xylem vessels and water is transported from roots to the leaves. So due to the force of attraction, that is force of cohesion between water molecules and force of adhesion between the water molecules and wall of xylem, helps the plants to absorb water, and the process is called as capillary action, by the help of which water absorption in plants occurs. So here we have seen the different properties of water. Now we will learn about water absorbing organ. You all know that the water absorbing organ of the plant is a root. So roots play an important role in absorption of water as well as minerals in plants, as well as you know that a root fix the plant in the soil. So terrestrial plants absorb water in the form of liquid which is present in the soil. Then epiphytes, like, now you know that epiphytes are the plants which grow on the branches of another plants, hence they are called as epiphytes. So epiphytes like orchids absorb water in the form of water vapors from the air. Now these plants show two types of roots, that is epiphytic roots and clinging roots. Now clinging roots are meant for the fixation of the plant in the branch, while epiphytic roots consists of a special tissue, and this tissue is called as velamen. So this velamen tissue helps to absorb water in the form of water vapors to the epiphytes. Now here is the structure of a typical root, shows different regions. Now at the base is the tip of the root, and it is protected by a covering called as a root cap. So this root cap protects the root tip from the soil particles when the root grows downwards in the soil. Then the region next to the root cap is called as meristematic region. Now meristematic region consists of the meristematic tissue, and this tissue carries the process of cell division, and due to cell division the cells get added to the root. Then next to the meristematic region is the region or zone of elongation. Now in this region or zone, the cells elongate and enlarge in size, or cell enlargement occurs. Hence it is called as zone of elongation. Then here we see this region is called as zone or region of root hair. So from this region number of root hairs are developed. Here we can see a root hair. So these root hairs are present in this zone or region, hence it is called as zone of root hair. Then next to the zone of root hair is the zone or region of maturation. Now in the region of maturation, the different developed cells are organized into different tissues of the root. So these are the regions of typical root. So here we have seen the structure of typical root. Now we will study the structure of root hair. Now root hair is the cytoplasmic extension of epiblema cell. Now epiblema means it is the outer layer of the root. So from this outer layer or the cells of this outer layer, a root hair is produced. Then each root hair is unicellular, that means it is single cell. Then its length is about 1 to 10 millimeter. Then root hair is colorless and it is unbranched. Here we can see the structure of root hair. Root hair is unicellular. Then it shows presence of cell wall. Cell wall is made up of two layers, outer layer and inner layer. Outer layer is made up of a substance called as pectin, while inner layer is made up of a substance called as cellulose. Then inside the cell wall, plasma membrane or cell membrane is present. Then inside cell membrane, cytoplasm is present, and inside the cytoplasm a large vacuole is present. Now this vacuole stores minerals as well as water. Then a prominent or well developed nucleus is present. Then a root hair shows presence of mitochondria. Here we can see mitochondria, and these mitochondria are used for the process of respiration. So the cell wall is called as permeable. Permeable means it allows the entry to all the substances inside, while the cell membrane or plasma membrane is selectively permeable. Now selectively permeable means it allows the entry of selected substances inside the cell. And here we can see the root epithelial cells. So here we have seen the structure of root hair, and root hair carries the main function, that is absorption of water, minerals, and as well as fix the plant in the soil. Now we will see the topic, that is water available to roots for absorption. Now you know that root is the main organ of the plant which absorbs water. Then roots absorb water from the soil, or terrestrial plants absorb water from the soil. Now roots absorb water from the rhizosphere. Now rhizosphere means it is the surrounding area of the root, or the soil present around the root come under the term that is rhizosphere. So root absorb water from this rhizosphere. Then water is available in different forms inside the soil, but only the water that is capillary water is absorbed by the roots. Now the first form of water available in the soil is called as gravitational water. Now gravitational water means during rainy season the water percolates in the soil and it goes deep down in the soil, and it is not available for the absorption by the roots. So due to the gravitational force, the water percolates inside the soil and reaches deep down inside the soil, and it is not available for the roots of the plants for absorption. Then second form of water is called as hygroscopic water. Now hygroscopic water means soil particles absorb water. Now adsorption means that the water molecules are tightly attached to the soil particles and are present in the form, or water is present in the form of thin film. Such water is called as adsorbed water, and it is also not available for the process of absorption. So such adsorbed water is called as hygroscopic water. That means the water molecules which are tightly attached to the surface of the soil particles and they form a thin film on it. Such water is called as hygroscopic water, and it is not absorbed by the roots, or it is not available for absorption by the roots. Then the next type is combined water. Now combined water means it is present in the form of hydrated oxides of silicon and aluminum. So the water is present in the form of hydrated oxides, is not absorbed by the roots. The next available form of water is called as capillary water. Now capillary water is held in between the soil particles due to the capillarity phenomenon. Now capillarity phenomenon means there is a force of attraction called as cohesion between the water molecules, and there is also a force of attraction between water molecules and soil particles. This force is called as adhesion or adhesive force. So due to these forces, that is cohesive force and adhesive force, the water remains in between the soil particles, and this water is absorbed by the roots, and this phenomenon is called as capillarity, and the available water is called as capillary water. So the capillary water is used by the roots for the process of absorption. So here we have seen the different forms of water present in the soil. The first one was gravitational water, then second hygroscopic water, combined water and capillary water. Only capillary water is absorbed by the roots. So here we have completed the topics which are for the examination in this academic year, that is 2020-21, from the chapter number 6, that is plant water relation. And you know that the remaining topics from this chapter have been deleted. So here we have completed all the topics from this chapter which are for the examination.